Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Economic Ninja here. We are going to talk about another bank that has bit the dust. It seems like another day, another bank. Now, there's different phases of bank crashes, right? You've got liquidity issues, and those run into liquidity crisis. Then you have share prices fall as people are heading for the hills and seeing problems with the bank. And then you see the bank unable to raise funds at all, right? And then you have FDIC issues, and you've got just all kinds of different things going on. I think it's important for people to understand that even if you heard about this bank before, and quite frankly, I haven't, you have to see when the plug is finally pulled, when things are bad. Now, this bank has been now downgraded. Its stock has been delisted off the NASDAQ. It is now in the pink sheet area because it is failing to file its paperwork with the authorities on time. So it's in a lot of trouble. Okay, so check this out. This is out of Wall Street Journal. Tiny bank called Republic First. Now, we all heard about First Republic failing in the springtime. This is Republic First faces test of depositors' faith. Now, it's interesting. I got to share with you real quick. If you go on Google and you look at Republic Bank, it says right here, myrepublicbank.com. This is what it shows on like a Google search, right in the first, section of it. It says here, we are one of the largest Philadelphia-based banks, yet decisions are made locally and quickly. We pride ourselves on our retail-based model. Really seems really nice, right? Well, this is what's going on right here. It says, First Republic's bank's collapse in the spring was a watershed moment. Now, a much smaller lender called Republic First Bank is in financial purgatory, a case that may test regulators and turn the idea of too big to fail upside down. It says right here, and actually, I'm going to say something really quick, something interesting that just came out about First Republic. Now, I don't want you to get them mistaken. First Republic was the big bank, Republic First is a smaller bank. But look at the news that just came out at the same time we're hearing about Republic First. Now we're hearing from the FDIC about First Republic, and check this out. They said that they acknowledge too generous view on First Republic's liquidity. It says U.S. regulators report says it could have done more to address risks before bank failed. And the Financial Times did a story about U.S. regulators in charge of supervising First Republic Bank were too generous and could have done more to effectively challenge management on its plans for dealing with rising interest rates and liquidity risk before its failure this year. Now, this comes after First Republic obviously failed, and there's reports coming out and blame game and fingers getting pointed, right? But there are so many banks crashing right now, it's insane. And that's why I want to stay up on this news with you, because I believe it's so very valuable and important. Because the more banks you see fail, the more you put them together and you go, okay, this is a much, much bigger problem than I thought. So it says here, going back into First Republic, they were delisted, and there's not a lot of information on this bank at all, quite frankly. It's actually, quite frankly, blown my mind that there's not a ton on it. Now, what I did was going to the news on it. I'm grabbing it right now. This is the latest out of Reuters. Thank you, Tyler, for the super chat. First Republic First Bancorp in preliminary talks with its shareholders to raise capital. So they've been delisted from the NASDAQ. They are now in the pink sheets, and they're in pink sheet territory because they are failing to file the proper paperwork to keep their shares trading on even the OTC boards, okay? They're in so much trouble that as of August 29th, they're talking with shareholders to raise capital, which means they need to print more shares. They can't even get the paperwork done right. What kind of odds do you think this bank is going to have? This is why it's so important to be ready for this next crash, because there are so many banks that are basket cases, it's going to be insane. Real quick, I'll mention 80% off link to the real estate crash course down below. It will never be that low as of the end of Sunday, and then we're raising the price because I'm going to get ready to put more stuff on there. So check this out of Reuters. Republic First Bancorp is in talks with a group led by activist investor George Norcross regarding an equity investment and broader capital raise, according to a regulatory filing on Tuesday. Although discussions are still preliminary, Norcross expects that such a transaction could provide for the resolution of pending litigation involving the bank, he said in the filing. The company last week saw its shares getting delisted from the NASDAQ after it failed to file its annual report with the securities regulator for the fiscal year of 2022. I wonder why that is. Wonder what they're hiding. It now expects its common stock to begin trading on the over-the-counter marketplace. And like I said, it's already at Pink Sheets. So the Pink Sheets news came after this story was just a few days ago. The company may apply to list on a major exchange after it files all delayed reports and meets other listing requirements. Sterling Smith, thank you so much for the super chat. So here's the question. Type 1 if you believe the reason why they're not wanting to put out this report is because they're afraid of what's in that report. Type 2 if you think this is just a clerical error. Now, I will be honest with you. I believe it is the first. And the reason why is because when you're a NASDAQ listed company and you're a big company, if there's a problem paperwork, you fix it quick. To say that you did not file your 2022 paperwork in time, just so you know how this works, they had to file that after their annual reports were finished at the beginning of 2023. It takes them about a quarter to get these ready. Then when they're late, they get a notice from the listing, NASDAQ. And then they have so many days, I want to say it's usually 28 days to come current on those listings. This is a big deal because they lost a ton of market share or market cap when they first got delisted. And that happened in like a month ago. So they had a long time to get this fixed. I believe what you're seeing is a bank in serious trouble trying to hide some serious problems. And this would be the easiest way to do it. Now, at what point, because when you go Pink Sheets, you're in a totally different realm of listing, or disclosures. And I want people to understand how big of a deal this is. I believe there are some banks that are hiding some assets on their books or lack thereof that would be so detrimental to the broader markets that they are keeping them quiet. And I also believe that there are people in the FDIC and the Federal Reserve that understand what these assets are. They're extremely toxic. And so I don't believe we're going to see what those toxic assets are until we have a full expunging or just a running through of the banking system. Now, the regional lender was reeling with higher costs and inability to improve profitability, and prompted it to cut jobs and exit its mortgage origination business earlier in the year. So now, why would you cut your mortgage origination business? It's because you're not able to make loans. It's not profitable. So it's better to cut that branch off of the tree and lay off all of those employees. All right. Again, bringing us more and more to the real estate crash scenario. I think this is important, and I think in the next few weeks, we're going to get a lot more information about this bank. But the thing is, I may lose track on this bank because there's so many other banks in troubles right now. It's crazy. I mean, to think that they got NASDAQ, the announcement for the NASDAQ to delist Republic First was on August 22nd. It just blows me away. To sit there and see that company go down. And you know what? Let's do this real quick. Let me just Google the stock right now. The stock is sitting right now. It's a penny stock now. Come on. It's live, so it's going to take a while. It's sitting at 17 cents, right? Today alone, it's down 43%, right? Now, obviously, this is because of liquidity issues and not a lot of stocks trading hands, right? But it's down 43%. Right now, the market cap of this bank is 11.9 million. Boy, I would love to find out if any of you guys know how much deposits are on that. The deposit ratio might be just insane, deposits to market cap. But yeah, I mean, the news is not looking good. It is. I get ready, guys. Hey, the 80% off link is down below. It's going to be good until Sunday night. Thank you so much for supporting me. Can't wait to see you guys in Las Vegas. The Economic Ninja is out.